Today's video is sponsored by War Thunder. This is a speedrun of Xenogears for the PS1, and this runner by the name of Pingval is about to beat the game in less than 20 minutes. How they end up accomplishing this feat though is bizarre to say the least. It's not uncommon to see glitches in these older games that let you skip large sections or even to the end entirely. But what about breaking a game with another game? We've already seen something like that in the past, where Ocarina of Time was used to do arbitrary code execution in Paper Mario, but what if I told you that people found a way to use RPG Maker for the PS1 to break several different games? Today, we're going to dive into how people use RPG Maker to skip the end of multiple games, and why it even works in the first place. So sit back and relax, and I hope you all enjoy today's video. RPG Maker has been around since the late 90s, and it was made to give people the ability to create their own RPGs from existing assets within the game. There was also an option to make and import your own visuals using something called Anime Maker. There's a few tools within Anime Maker that let you create monsters, characters, and most importantly, title screens. Going into the title lets you draw on a blank canvas, then you can save your title when you're done with it. There's actually people to this day who have recreated title frames from other games, including one person named Toto. Toto is an RPG speedrunner and a fan of the RPG Maker series in general. Since 2013, he'd been sharing various projects on his Nico video page, showing he had a lot of experience with the game. So it made sense that in February of 2019, he started uncovering some weird stuff with RPG Maker. But before we cover that, we need to talk about today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and is available now for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. You can control over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 different major nations. Experience over a century of combat with vehicles ranging from the 1920s all the way up to the present day. Dive into the incredible combat War Thunder has to offer, where the extremely detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects provide an unparalleled experience. I personally love the sophisticated vehicle damage models War Thunder has. Each vehicle has been crafted with high attention to detail, modeled down to its components such as engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and crew. All of these things can be damaged or disabled from enemy fire. War Thunder has over 70 million players, and for good reason. There's no other game that comes close for fans of military history. Go play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile now by using my links in the description or pinned comment. New and returning players that haven't played for at least 6 months on PC or consoles will get a massive bonus pack containing the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. It's only available for a limited time, so act quickly and play War Thunder today. Getting back to what Toto uncovered, we need to understand how memory card storage works. On the PS1, save data comes in the form of blocks, with a memory card storing up to 16 blocks. 15 of these are used for actual save data, and 1 is reserved for memory that defines each block of saved data, also known as a header. Many games only require 1 block to save, but some require 2 or more. Meaning if you had a lot of PS1 games as a kid, you were probably begging your parents for a second memory card. So what does any of this have to do with Toto and RPG Maker? The Anime Maker's title screen tool lets you save files in compressed or uncompressed states, 1 block or 8 blocks respectively. Toto figured out that when you save uncompressed data, you're actually saving color data in its specific coordinates. This all saves to blocks 2 through 6, meaning you have complete control of the actual data written to the memory card in these blocks. Blocks 1 and 8 can't be edited in this way, which is something to keep in mind for later. Now, this is great for RPG Maker, but how is this useful if the data is restricted to 1 game? Luckily, the PS1 handles data management in a way that favors us. When you delete data from a PS1 memory card, the actual data isn't deleted, only the header that's attached to the data. Meaning it could still be accessed if you had a way to attach a header to it without overwriting the data. When it comes to assigning a new header, this was previously thought to be impossible, as game data usually save first, with the header being written after. But sometime in the late PS2 console lifecycle, Sony goofed. On later PS2 Slim models, this operation is completed in a different order, meaning games save the header, then the actual data. This creates a weird situation where if you remove a memory card when a game begins saving, you write the header, but not the rest of the save data to the card. Combine this with deleting the uncompressed RPG Maker title screen data, then saving a compressed file to block 1, you can write a different game's header starting at block 2, which has the raw title data starting there. Todo discovered all of this, and after a couple of months of research, he found out how to create valid save data for Dragon Quest VII. On June 1st of 2019, he did a speedrun using what he uncovered. Now, the fastest run for the Japanese version of Dragon Quest VII is 12 hours and 34 minutes. With Todo's new save glitch, he beat the game in 14 minutes and 4 seconds. By drawing on the canvas, saving a certain amount of blocks uncompressed, overriding that with a compressed save, then removing the memory card as you're starting a new adventure in Dragon Quest VII, Todo was able to load right into the credits of the game. When this happened, people in the Japanese speedrunning and glitch hunting communities were not only doing runs, but they were also finding other games to apply this to as well. Remember that runner by the name of Pingval I mentioned at the beginning of the video? Well, they already beat Todo's Dragon Quest VII run that same month and had a deep understanding of how this exploit worked. Using that knowledge, he did the same thing with Final Fantasy VIII, beating the game in 27 minutes and 46 seconds. A couple of weeks later, he beat Final Fantasy IX in 21 minutes and 11 seconds. On August 15th, Pingval did a save glitched run of FF7, 8, and 9 in just 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 16 seconds. As Pingval was breaking more games, he improved his process for manipulating data as well. During the RPG Maker setup for the FF7, 8, 9 run, Pingval did his uncompressed saved and unplugged the memory card when the block counter reached 4 in RPG Maker. RPG Maker doesn't have anything to say your save is invalid when you do this, so if you remove the memory card while an uncompressed save is happening, it stops where you were at and completes the save successfully. As Pingval continued to optimize these glitch runs, the list of exploitable games was quickly growing, and it was surprising how many of these games didn't have checks to prevent this level of manipulation. Saga Frontier 2, Dragon Quest IV, and Xenogears were just a few games that were broken by several Japanese speedrunners, and even more were found in the aftermath of these findings. Another speedrunner by the name of Krazar ended up figuring out how to do save corruption for Castlevania Chronicles. He starts out by dying in stage 2 and saving the game, and then he moves to RPG Maker and sets up a save on another memory card in block 1, then copies the Castlevania Chronicles data into block 2 of the new memory card and immediately deletes it. Then, by saving a new uncompressed file and removing the memory card when the header is saving, Krazar is able to convert the Castlevania Chronicles save into color data that's put onto the canvas. He then modifies the data, saves it uncompressed, and removes the card on block 6, then saves a compressed blank canvas to detach the memory from RPG Maker. Krazar then copies the Castlevania save from the other memory card, but removes the destination card right after starting to attach the header to the unmarked data. While this does appear to be corrupted data, it's actually a valid file that can be loaded by the game. Loading this file in Castlevania Chronicles puts Krazar at the final stage, and all he needs to do is defeat Dracula to finish the game. This run clocked in at 17 minutes, demonstrating another incredible method that exploits how these games work. This is just one of about a dozen games that have been broken so far, including others I didn't dive into, such as Arc the Lad 2, Monster Farm, and Boku no Natsuyasumi. While many of you may not consider these speedruns and completions faithful to how they're supposed to be beaten, these are incredible discoveries that continue to show almost anything is possible when it comes to older games and glitches. It's kind of funny that a game dedicated to giving you the tools to make your own RPG ended up letting you do the same thing to other games in its own weird way. If you all learned something new and cool today, then let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear about it. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Use my links in the description or pinned comment to check out War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile. If you're new or haven't played in 6 months, you'll get a massive bonus pack across PC and consoles that includes premium vehicles, 7 days of premium account, and more. Stay hydrated, folks, and thank you all so much for watching.